Back now to the men's 55-meter dash. And the star of the 200 meters is back for the 55 meters, Craig. And I can't wait to see what he can do against the National Collegiate Indoor Champion last year and the outdoor champion, Tim Harden.
Great matchup. Tim Harden on the left from Kentucky. Obadele Thompson from UTEP on the right. I talked to his coach, Bob Kitchens, this morning. He couldn't have been more surprised with the big performance of Thompson yesterday. He was injured a week ago. They weren't even sure if he'd be able to come back and run in the NCAAs. Not only did he run, one of the best 200 meters in history indoors. Harden took last weekend off, has looked sluggish in the early going, but he looked sluggish last year before he won the championship.
Watch the center of the track.
That's big news in NCAA competition because one false start and they're out. And I couldn't see anyone clearly false starting.
I agree. I was surprised it was called back. It was a minor infraction if it was. Sometimes they're major and other times they're hairline. Let's take a look. You pick it out. Boy, I don't see it. Do you see it? I don't see that.
No, but they use the pressure-sensitive blocks here with the special timing system, and a sound goes off in the ear of the starter and the recall starter.
Well, there might have been just the slightest hint, and that might be Barry Douglas from George Mason, closest to the next closest to the camera in lane 7. He wasn't out of his block, but he may have let up on the pressure.
Under normal international rules,
here comes the decision. Let's see what happens.
There can be one false start, and only on a second false start are you thrown out.
Now they're walking over to somebody here. And out. Oh, this hurts George Mason. Coach John Cook and Dalton Ebanks, the associate coach there, sprint coach, boy, they're having a heart attack. Barry Douglas. This tightens things up a little bit in the men's team competition. There are no false starts allowed at the NCAAs.
Yeah, I'm right here. Okay, Barry.
Lewis.
Barry, any idea what happened? Do you think you false started?
I didn't think I false started at all.
You know, we're using these pressure-sensitive blocks. Did you rock forward, rock back? Any idea what happened?
I don't think I false. I didn't come out. I mean, if I twitched or I didn't think so. I don't think I did so.
All right, devastating blow for George Mason. Thanks, Barry.
You know, I agree with him what he says. I think he twitched and the leg was coming forward a bit and the pressure came off the blocks, but he didn't lift his hands up.
No, there was certainly no advantage taken.
Life is hard and then you die.
This will help the more experienced sprinters, though, refocus. They've had the time to sort of get back into their race plan. The man in orange, Obadele Thompson from Barbados and UTEP. Tim Harden alongside of him in the blue of Kentucky.
Both men claim they lift well in the middle of the race. Oh, it is Harden with a slight advantage. Here comes Obadele. Can he catch him? Oba does not get there, and Tim Harden, the defending champion, the senior from Kentucky, the Wildcat claws his way to that finish line.
I tell you, we might have to call him king of the sandbag because this guy just didn't look good in the qualifying rounds, and that's the second year in a row he didn't look good in the qualifying rounds. But that's why they run a final. And he had an excellent start, Larry.
Craig, interestingly to me, his time was 1/10 of a second slower. He ran 6:18 in the trials, and Obadele was a little bit faster by 1/10. Look at this. Look how close this is.
Outstanding running for Tim Harden, though, and he really gained the advantage right from the start. Says everything is geared towards the Olympics. He can be the #1 American this year, Larry. That's what he says.
Let's get down to Lewis Johnson.
Tim, you skipped the USA Indoor Nationals. You had a plan. This must be the payoff.
Oh, definitely. You know, I wanted to take that week off and just get prepared mentally for the NCAAs, and it worked perfectly. I came out, ran a great race. Obadele ran a great race, and he ran a great time. So it worked out just like I wanted it.
False starts in college track and field can really throw some people off or help the more experienced guys can keep it together. How did it affect you?
Well, you know, it didn't really affect me because I'm used to running the international competition, so they get 4 or 5 false starts. So one false start, it doesn't affect me. I just had tunnel vision, and, you know, I just let them do what they got to do. They want a false start. You know, I'm just going to come back and do what I got to do.
All right, Tim. Thanks for your time, and good job on your championship.
Thanks a lot.
Well, our congratulations to Tim Harden. And there you see Tim Harden's victory in 6.05. Less than 10 performers in history have gone as fast as he did.